In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to free up storage space on any Android device with no app needed and also no root needed. Now in this video, I'm showing you the best method to free up storage, and you don't even have to install any cleaner apps. This is all within the Settings app. Now before we go ahead and start this video, be sure to sign up for my Android Critics newsletter down in the description down below. Once you sign up for my Android Critics newsletter, you'll be able to get latest and greatest Android news, tips and tricks, and a whole lot more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. So what you're going to go ahead and do is open up the Settings app. So once you go into Settings, what you're going to do is scroll down to where it says Apps, and you're simply going to tap on the App section. And it's going to show you all the apps installed on your device. You can scroll through them and see these are all of the apps that you currently have installed on your Android device, and you can quickly access them from this section. Now what we can do is actually tap on the All Apps button. It's also going to give you an option to either show all the apps you have enabled or all the apps that you currently have disabled. Now the most important part of this app section is actually the storage space each app takes up. So let's say, for example, this 123 Netflix app takes up 5.87 megabytes, and right below it, the 123 Netflix app takes up 18.36 megabytes. So it just gives you a brief summary of how much an app is taking up of internal storage. So let's say, for example, we tap on any one of these apps. So let's say, for example, 7-Zipper. Now, once you tap on the app, it's going to give you a full breakdown of the app. So it's going to give you an option to uninstall it or force stop, but that's not what we're going to be looking at. Now, the most important section of this is the storage. So this app is taking up 28.8 megabytes out of 64 gigabytes of internal storage. So what we can do is tap on the storage. So now once we're in the storage section of an app, you can see that it's going to show you where the app is located. So in my case, it's located in the internal storage. So what you can actually do is if you have an external SD card in your phone, what you can do is actually press change, and then you can move that app all the way to your SD card. So that will mean that you have more internal storage. So that's a really great option that we have in the settings. But for the purpose of this video, that's not what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be clearing up our internal storage so we don't have to go out and buy an external SD card. So directly under that, you're going to notice that you have two storage options. So you have a storage option that will clear the data, or you have an option that will clear the cache. Now, when you clear the cache, it will put the app back to normal. But once you clear the data, it's just like installing a new app. So it'll be restoring the app to its factory state. So when you first installed it. So that's really nice. Now, before we go ahead and clean up storage on my Android device, I just want to show you where I'm currently at in terms of storage. So in my internal storage, I'm using 56.7 gigabytes out of 64 gigabytes. So you can see that I'm almost full when it comes to my internal storage. So now what we can do is go back into the 7-Zipper app. And then what we can do is clear the cache. So before we clear the cache, it was at 2.7 megabytes. Now it's cleared. And now what we can do is clear the data for the app. So you can see that these are all the numbers for the data. And now I could just clear the data for 7-Zipper. So this is what happens when you clear the data. You're going to see that you'll get this pop-up. So all the application's data will be deleted permanently. And this includes the files, settings, accounts, and databases. But in 7-Zipper, it's just a file manager. So there's no real important data that's going to be deleted. It's just basically an app that gives you a breakdown of what files are on your device. So you go ahead and press on delete. So you can see that there's 0 bytes of data that we have, and now we don't have any cache in that app. And now what we can do is just clear up the data and clear up the cache on all the other apps on my Android device. And then by doing that, it's going to free up some storage. Now this process is perfect for the apps that you don't care about. So wallpaper apps, this is when you want to clear the data and clear the cache, or just apps that you just don't use in general. This is when the process will come in handy. So now what we can do is go to another app. So we could hit back twice, and then we can take a look at all the apps on my Android device, and we can just simply scroll down. So we can tap on the Casper app, for example, and then we can go into storage. And I can see that it's currently taking up 33.63 megabytes in total. But for the data, it's taking up 820 kilobytes. And for the cache, it's taking up 5.44 megabytes. So now what we can do is just clear the cache. And then we can also clear the data as well. And then we can press on delete. And now I can see it's at 0 bytes for both data and cache. So we just keep doing this on some more apps as well. Now what we can do is take a look at some more apps that we can clean up on our Android device. So let's say, for example, the Daegu app. We could tap on it, then we can go into storage. And then what we can do is take a look at the data and cache numbers. So this Daegu app is actually taking up 19.86 megabytes of data. And for the cache, it's taking up 6.74 megabytes. So we can just clear the data and clear the cache on that. And that will definitely free up some space on our Android device. Then we can just go back, and then we can take a look at an app like Droid Buddy 2.0. And then we can take a look at the storage space. And then if we take a look at the data, it's taking up 19.68 megabytes of data. And for the cache, it's taking up 18.3 megabytes. of cache. So we can just clear the data and clear the cache on both. And then you can see that we're back to 0 bytes and we're freeing up a lot of storage because 18 megabytes is another app that you can install on your Android device. And that's actually a lot when you think of it. Now you can go into an app like eDoctor, and then you can go into storage, and then you're going to see that we do have some more data and cache we can clear up. So it's just basically a simple process. Just go ahead and take a look at all the apps on your Android device and clear up all the data in the cache as much as possible, and then you'll be able to free up a lot of storage. Now, don't do this on an app that you have the game saved on and you play the games on the app. If you clear the data, you're going to be back to level 1 in that particular game. So just be very cautious and just use this on the apps that you don't really use and you just have on your device. Just clear up the data and clear up the cache on that. Now you can clear up the cache on any app, but when you clear up the data, that is when you will lose your save state in a game or specific portions of an app. So that is the clear data and clear cache portion of your Android device. You don't even need to install any special app or anything like that to free up storage. Now what we can do is go back. And then once you go back to our main page of our settings app, you're going to see that in some Android devices, such as the LG G4 or a lot of the newer Samsung devices, you're going to see that you have a built-in cleaner. So that's really nice. So you don't even have to install any app. So just certain Android devices have a built-in storage cleaner that you could go ahead and take a look at some information about your device. So in the Samsung devices, so I have an S8 that I'm using in this video. And if you go into the device maintenance of it, you're going to see that it's going to load up with this. So it's going to give you a detailed analysis on your battery, your performance, your storage, your memory, and device security. But what we're focusing on is the storage. So under this section, you can see all of the data that's on your device. So you can see how many documents you have in terms of gigabytes, images, audio, videos, applications, and on your SD card as well. So what we can actually do is just clean up some storage. So you can see that we can free up 1.68 gigabytes if we do this. So you can just go ahead and press clean now. And then it's going to go ahead and clean up the device's storage just like that. So you can see that I have 1.6 gigabytes cleared, and now you can see that we have some more storage space. So that's how you can free up 3 gigabytes of storage